Australia, I'm Kenny Roo, and you're watching Kangaroo Energy. If this is your first time here, welcome. This channel exists for one very simple reason: to help Australians understand solar, batteries, and energy decisions clearly, calmly, and honestly. No hype, no scare tactics, no confusing jargon, and no sales pressure. Just your real explanations, so you can make smarter decisions for your home, your family, and your energy bills. Now, if you clicked on this video, there's a strong chance you've already heard about something called the Cheaper Home Batteries program. Maybe you saw it mentioned online. Maybe a neighbour brought it up. Maybe an installer mentioned a government discount. Or maybe you already have solar and you're wondering whether adding a battery finally makes sense. And if you're feeling confused right now, you're not alone. Because this program sounds simple on the surface, but once people start explaining it, it often becomes technical, unclear, and full of assumptions. So today, I'm going to slow everything right down and walk you through this properly. What this program really is, why it exists, and why it matters, not just to you, but to Australia's entire energy system. And before we go any further, if content like this helps you, please subscribe to Kangaroo Energy. It genuinely helps this channel grow, and it tells YouTube that long-form, Australian-focused education is worth sharing. All right, let's begin with the most important question of all. Why does the Cheaper Home Batteries program exist? To understand this program, you first need to understand Australia's energy reality. Australia is one of the best countries in the world for rooftop solar. We have abundant sunshine, large roof spaces, and millions of households already generating solar power every single day. In fact, Australia has one of the highest rooftop solar adoption rates anywhere on the planet. That's a huge achievement. But there is a problem hiding underneath that success, and it's a significant one. The solar timing mismatch. Most Australian homes generate solar power during the middle of the day. That's when the sun is high, and solar panels are at their most productive. But think about what's happening in most households at that time. Adults are at work. Children are at school. Homes are relatively quiet. Electricity usage is usually low, so what happens to all that solar energy? Some of it is used inside the home, but a large portion is exported back to the grid. Now fast forward to the evening. People return home, lights turn on, cooking begins. Heating or cooling systems start running. Televisions, appliances, and chargers all switch on. And at that exact moment, solar production drops. The sun goes down, panels stop producing, and households start buying electricity from the grid. That grid electricity is often more expensive, especially during peak demand periods. So we end up with a mismatch. Solar energy is produced when households don't need much of it. Electricity is purchased when solar isn't available. This mismatch is the core problem. Why this problem matters? This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it has real consequences. For households, it means higher evening electricity bills. For the electricity grid, it means predictable demand spikes. For energy planners, it means expensive infrastructure built to meet short bursts of peak demand. And for Australia's clean energy transition, it means renewable energy isn't being used as efficiently as it could be. This is where batteries come in. What home? Batteries actually do. A home battery stores excess solar energy generated during the day and makes it available later, when the household actually needs it. In simple terms, solar during the day, stored in a battery energy in the evening, supplied by the battery. That means less electricity purchased from the grid. Lower exposure to peak pricing, more control over how your energy is used. For many households, that sounds ideal. So the next question is obvious. If batteries solve this problem, why doesn't everyone already have one? The real barrier has always been cost for years. The biggest obstacle to battery adoption has been upfront cost. Batteries work. They are proven technology. They deliver real benefits. But they haven't been cheap. Even as prices have slowly fallen, many households looked at battery quotes and decided the numbers didn't stack up yet. That wasn't ignorance. It was a rational financial decision. And this is exactly where the Cheaper Home Batteries program comes in. The government's big picture thinking. This program wasn't created randomly. Australia is undergoing a major energy transition. We're moving from centralised power stations to distributed energy systems, from one-way electricity flow to two-way participation. Homes are no longer just consumers of electricity, they are producers. And increasingly, they are storage providers. But for that future to work properly, battery storage needs to scale, and scale is critical. 1 or 2 batteries don't change much. Thousands start to matter, hundreds of thousands change grid behaviour, millions transform the system entirely. The government understands this, so instead of waiting decades for battery prices to fall naturally, this program is designed to accelerate adoption now, reduce upfront costs, increase participation, and unlock benefits across the entire electricity system. This program is not just about saving money, yes. Saving money matters. But this program has multiple goals: reducing household electricity bills, encouraging better use of rooftop solar, lowering peak demand on the grid, improving reliability, and preparing Australia for a high renewables future. When many households store energy locally, the grid experiences less stress during peak periods. That leads to fewer extreme price spikes, less reliance on expensive emergency generation, and a more stable electricity system overall. So while households benefit individually, Australia benefits collectively. Why this is a national program? You might be wondering why this is a federal initiative. The answer is consistency. Solar and batteries are now a national issue. A federal program allows consistent eligibility rules, national safety and quality standards, and a unified approach to energy storage adoption. This avoids confusion and ensures Australians across the country can participate under similar conditions. Why this matters to you? Even if you never install a battery, this program still affects you. As battery adoption increases, grid stability improves, wholesale electricity markets smooth out, peak demand pressure reduces, and long-term planning becomes easier. That benefits everyone. But if you are considering a battery, this program may be the tipping point that finally makes it financially realistic. And that's why understanding it properly matters. Important note. Before we move on, this video and this channel provides general information only. This is not electrical advice, this is not financial advice, and this is not a recommendation to purchase. The goal is understanding. So you can talk to installers, compare quotes, and make informed decisions. Okay, what comes next? In the next section, we'll look at how the discount actually works, why it's not a cash rebate, what certificates are, and how the discount appears on your quote. That's where most confusion happens. But before we continue, if this explanation helped you, please subscribe to Kangaroo Energy, like the video if it added clarity, and leave a comment below. Do you already have solar? Or are you still considering it? Alright, let's continue. How the discount actually works. One of the biggest misunderstandings about this program is how the money's delivered. So let's clear this up properly. This is not a cash rebate. You don't apply on a government website and you don't get paid back later. Instead, the discount is applied up front through your installer. The program works through something called small-scale technology certificates, often shortened to STCS. You don't need to remember that name, but you do need to understand what they do. When an eligible battery system is installed, it creates a certain number of certificates based on its usable capacity. Those certificates have market value. Under this program, the government effectively supports the purchase of those certificates, which allows installers to reduce the price you pay. So when you see a quote, the discount should already be included. That's why 2 battery quotes for the same system can look very different. One may have applied the discount correctly, and the other may not. What? A 30% discount really means you'll often hear people say the government gives 30% off batteries. That's broadly correct. But it's important to understand what that actually means. It doesn't mean every battery is exactly 30% cheaper. And it doesn't mean the discount is the same forever. The discount is calculated based on battery usable capacity, certificate value at the time, program settings for that year. In most real-world residential cases, the reduction works out to thousands of dollars, not hundreds. But the exact figure varies. This is why it's important to ask installers, has the Cheaper Home Batteries program discount been fully applied to this quote? If they can't explain it clearly, that's a warning sign. Who this program is really suitable for? Let's be honest for a moment. This program doesn't magically make batteries perfect for everyone. It makes batteries more accessible, not universal. The households that benefit most tend to be homes with existing solar, homes with higher evening electricity use, families home at night, people paying higher electricity tariffs. If you generate solar during the day and use a lot of power at night, a battery can shift that usage. If your usage is very low overall, the benefit may be smaller. This doesn't mean batteries are bad. It means fit matters. Battery size. Why bigger is not always better. Another common misconception is that bigger batteries always mean better outcomes. That's not necessarily true. Battery size should match your daily usage, your solar generation, your evening demand, your budget. Oversizing a battery can increase upfront cost without proportionally increasing benefit. This is why good installers talk about usable capacity, not marketing numbers. If someone pushes the biggest battery possible without asking about your usage, be cautious. Backup power. Let's set real expectations. This is one of the most misunderstood topics in the entire battery conversation. A battery does not automatically mean your whole house will stay on during a blackout. Backup capability depends on battery size, inverter configuration, which circuits are connected, local regulations. Many homes back up essential loads only. Things like lights, fridge, internet, some power points. This is normal, this is intentional, and this is often the most practical approach. Full house backup is possible, but it requires larger systems and higher cost. Understanding this upfront prevents disappointment later. What to check before you sign anything? Before committing to a battery installation, there are a few critical checks you should always make. First, installer accreditation. Make sure the installer is properly accredited and licensed. Second, approved products. The battery must be on the approved list to qualify for the program. Third, clear pricing. The government discount should be visible and explained. Fourth, warranty terms. Understand what's covered and for how long. And finally, backup limitations. These should be explained clearly in writing. If anything feels vague, pause and ask questions. Common mistakes people make. Let's quickly cover a few mistakes that come up again and again. Mistake 1, chasing the cheapest quote. Cheapest is not always best. Mistake 2, assuming full backup. Always confirm what is actually backed up. Mistake 3, ignoring future changes. Electricity prices, usage patterns and tariffs change. Mistake 4, not reading the fine print. Warranties and exclusions matter. Avoiding these mistakes often matters more than chasing maximum discounts. Why timing still matters. This program is designed to run for several years, but like all incentive schemes, it evolves. As battery prices fall over time, the level of support may gradually change. That doesn't mean the program disappears, but early adopters often receive stronger relative incentives. If you're already considering a battery, well, this program may bring the decision forward. The bigger picture. This isn't just about individual homes. As more batteries are installed, the grid becomes more resilient, peak demand pressure reduces, renewable energy is used more efficiently. This benefits everyone, even households without batteries. It's part of a broader shift towards smarter, more flexible energy systems. Final thoughts. The Cheaper Home Batteries program doesn't make batteries perfect, but it does make them more realistic for many Australian households. The key is understanding. Understanding how it works. Understanding what it does and doesn't do. And understanding what's right for your situation. That's what Kangaroo Energy is here for. If this video helped you understand batteries more clearly, please subscribe to Kangaroo Energy. We break down solar, batteries and energy decisions in plain Australian language. Like the video if it added value, and leave a comment below. What's the biggest thing confusing you about batteries right now? I'm Kenny Roo. Thanks for watching, and stay energized.